Let's congratulate each other. Our community is growing. It's impossible without your support. I expect we can count on it and we hope it's just the beginning. Thanks a lot. I'd like to tell you one thing and you'll hear it first. I'm going to create a new playlist vocabulary on different topics with dialects for different levels, and we'll finish it. Some levels will be only in English. I think it's a good idea. Secondly, I'm going to make a new playlist, English words for children. It will be a little bit different. Anyway, let's go ahead. I have a question for you. What would you like to ask me? I have this kind of problem. Right, I don't feel comfortable when I speak English because it's very difficult for me to understand other people and sometimes I feel that I look stupid. How do you learn English? I mostly do grammar exercises and I read books in English. I'm sure this practice is very good if you want to improve your grammar or enlarge your vocabulary. But you don't work on your listening skills, that's the problem. Okay, what can you recommend? Listen to English speech more. Your words seem very simple. Right, let me finish. I'd like to tell you much more. You need simple texts, so find them and listen to them with most common English words. You can do it on the channel English Galaxy. So you can watch any video and it will help you improve your listening skills because everything is written and pronounced at the same time. You can see the text and listen. I'm sure it's the best method if your level is up to intermediate. I see. So I have one more question. Can I watch any video and will it definitely help me solve all my problems? Okay, problems. Problems connected with my listening skills. I'm not telling you this, but if you want to do it, you need to start with it. Watch simple videos, basic grammar and mostly topics and dialects. Have a look at most common English words too. I understand. Is it enough? You'll feel progress, but if you want a perfect result, you need to do more. Well, it sounds interesting. What should I do? Listen to different audiobooks by famous publishers and read them. It's an excellent practice. There are different levels: beginner, elementary, pre-intermediate, intermediate, upper intermediate, and advanced. How should I read these books? Start with something simple. If it's simple, it's easy and it can bring you satisfaction. You can read books which are simple for you for pleasure and it won't be boring because you'll understand almost everything. For example, your level is pre-intermediate and you can read 10 books, elementary level for additional practice. Then go to the next level and so on. I see your point of view. I think that I need to do another thing. I can read one book elementary level, then I'll go to pre-intermediate level and one book for each level is enough for me. I'm afraid you are mistaken. Let me tell you why. First, keep in mind that you need to improve your listening skills. It happens if you work hard, but you need to work really hard if you want to achieve very good results. Some people believe that it's possible to learn English in 10 hours or so, but in fact that's totally wrong. You can understand the basics of English, but you need to work much harder if you want to know English perfectly. Should I read and listen to these books at the same time? If I were you, I would do the following. First, I read and translate. Then I listen to it and look at the text at the same time. After that, I can listen to it without looking at the text. If you feel it's too easy for you, anyway, reading and listening at the same time is very important. It's something miraculous. It's a real miracle. It can help you improve your listening skills greatly. That's why we type everything on this channel. I'm interested in improving your listening skills. I'm interested in your progress. I want you to know English really well. Okay, to sum up, I need to do two things. First, I need to watch different videos on English Galaxy. Second, I should read these kind of books and listen to them which are suitable for my level. I should read, translate, repeat, and listen. You're absolutely right. However, there are other things which can't be ignored. What are you talking about? You need to know more English words. You need to enrich your vocabulary. You can understand simple words, but native speakers often use more advanced vocabulary. If you don't know these words, understanding other people might be very problematic. Focus on widening your vocabulary. How many words should I know? If you want to feel comfortable, I suppose it's at least 5,000 English words. Really, yeah, that's it. Learn these English words in context and listen to them. I believe is the most effective way of learning English words, especially when you can see them. I got your message. What else? Don't forget about grammar. You can have different problems with understanding and listening because you can understand English words separately, but you can't understand some structures and sentences. It's often because of grammar. For example, I can say the following: if I hadn't been there, I would have never learned about that. You understand all these words, but you can't understand it quickly. You need to know that it's conditional free or the third conditional unreal in the past. It's grammar. Well, it sounds very interesting. Should I do some listening exercises? I know there are books which contain them. I think it's an advantage, but unfortunately it isn't enough. It's good to check yourself. At the same time, I think it isn't enough, as I have already said. What about listening to English songs and watching English movies? Does it really work? I'm sure it helps, but you need to improve your English in general. What do I mean? If you're a beginner, it's often too difficult. If your level is higher, you need to learn most commonly used words in different contexts, and you shouldn't forget about grammar. You can do it, but mostly for pleasure. It can't replace other methods completely. Anyway, if your level is upper intermediate or higher, you need to watch different programs and movies in English much more. I see. I'd like to do the following. I think I need to translate one English song and listen to it. It will improve my English skills greatly. What do you think about that? Well, if you have time, why not? Especially if it's your favorite song. However, you can spend lots of time on it. I'm sure that the words in this song, that the words in this song are so widespread and you really need them. I suppose you need to know most common English words. If you do it, you'll be able to understand lots of songs. The problem is that you don't need to know all English words. Sometimes very uncommon words and phrases are used in songs. If you're interested in slang, I think it's a good idea. But I would improve my level first. I understand. I understand. How about listening to different podcasts and learning English with a teacher? Very good questions indeed. It seems to me that video lessons are much more effective. It's a new generation. Well, looking at your second question, I can tell you that if you have a good English teacher, it's an advantage. Look at your lessons. Use only English. It's a good practice too. When you're an active listener, you can interact with your partner. It's much more interesting, I see. Anyway, it usually costs a lot of money. No problem. Make friends who live in other countries and you'll be able and you'll be an active listener with them. I understood your point of view. That's clear. What other things can you recommend? Listen to the English radio. I like BBC Radio 4, different programs, not only the news. So you need to listen to different programs. If you want something simple, you can also have a look at VOA Special English, Voice of America. Incredible as that may seem, I remember my school years. When I was 15, I had no internet. I was listening to this radio and I was so happy that I could listen to real English and understand it. It was about 14 years ago, and don't forget about one thing. We'll create new playlists on vocab on different subjects and for different levels, for different needs and purposes. On the channel English Galaxy. Last but not least, I think it's a good idea to watch English movies with subtitles. Okay, thanks a lot. Thanks for your support. See you. Bye bye.